Here we go, folks. It's time for the starting 11 prediction for tomorrow's home game against Hearts. Finally back at Celtic Park after that batch of away games there. Maximum points and through in the cup on Sunday as well. So we're playing really well just now. Hearts come into this one sitting 12th in the table. Who'd have thought that at the start of the season that Hearts would be bottom almost midway through February. They've had 3 wins from their last 6 games. 2 of those did come in the Scottish Cup though. Their only league win in those last 6 games was against Rangers at Tynecastle. So they will be right up for this, but I think in the form we're in just now, if we bring a high level of performance, we should get a good win, hopefully continue this brilliant run of form. I did get a couple of things right for the team on Sunday. I think I got 8 out of 11. Klimala did start up top, we went back to 4-2-3-1, but I do expect us to go back to 3-5-2 tomorrow. We'll start in goals then, as we always do. Scott Bain did come in for Fraser Forster. He's not played for a while, Scott Bain, since he broke his finger. I think it was against Cluj, was it, back at the start of the season. We signed Fraser Forster and neither him or Gordon have really had a look in, but we'll be back to Forster tomorrow. As I say, I think we'll go back to the back 3 on the right hand side of defence. I think Jozo Simunovic will come back in. I think Jozo's somebody that Neil Lennon really likes as a player. He didn't play at the weekend, obviously. Plastic pitch, we know that they don't like him playing on plastic pitches with his injury history, so I think he'll come back in playing alongside Julian and Ayer. Julian and Ayer did play at the weekend. I thought one of them would sit out, but I did forget that Stephen Welsh had played in earlier rounds for Morton, so he was cup tied, so that meant Julian and Ayer played together, so they'll be alongside Jozo, I think, in the back 3. On the right hand side, James Forrest playing as a right wing back, like we seen at Fir Park last week. Hopefully he's got much less defending to do tomorrow than he had last week at Fir Park, particularly in the first half. I think that partnership with him and Jozo Simunovic, Muller will kind of go at us a little bit down that side. But I thought Forrest was really good on Sunday while he was on. I thought the first half he's probably the pick of the bunch, up there with Cham and Christie. Put some great balls into the box. That lovely through ball for Klimala as well, he played really well. Onto the left hand side, Bolingoli came back into the team after his little spell out. After his bad performances, he was back in the team. That partnership between him and El Yunusi, you could see, having been established for the first half of the season really, you can see there's a bit of familiarity between them. They did play a lot of games together down that left hand side, but I do expect Greg Taylor to come back into the team for this one. I know wing back is probably not Taylor's natural role. He's more suited to being an out and out left back. Bolingoli is more suited to being a wing back, but I just think Taylor will start in this game. Bolingoli's not played a lot of football. Taylor, I thought, has impressed relatively since he's been in the team. Some really good performances, some maybe not so good, but I think Taylor will start at left wing back. Into midfield, Brown and McGregor, that partnership again. Scott Brown was Poacher's goal at the weekend, he'll be delighted with that. Callum McGregor got a day off, which is an absolute rarity for him, so he should be fresh back in the team off the back of that wonderful performance at Fir Park last week. So those two, I think in front of them, Olivier and Cham is undroppable at the minute. I've said in recent weeks that I think Christie was going to come back into the team, but I think with how well Cham's playing, it's just impossible not to put him in the team. I fully expect him to start in front of Brown and McGregor. I think when Cham, when he plays to a high level, he's one of the best midfield players, maybe the best midfield player in the country. His awareness, the way he uses his body, his passing range is just absolutely top notch. So I think he will play tomorrow. Brilliant for Neil Lennon to have the options in that area of the pitch though. We've got some big games coming up that I'll touch on later. So Christie's a different player to Cham, we know that. Gives him options, a lot of competition, that's only good for us. And up top, back to the partnership that's working so well together. Lee Griffiths, who was on the bench, an unused sub at the weekend, he should have benefited from that as well. And the player of the month, the top man, Odsonne Edouard alongside them. El Yunusi obviously back in the team, as I said on Sunday. We talked a lot in the post-match pint about whether that'll mean that we'll go back to 4-2-3-1 more often than not. Somebody did say, shout out whoever it was by the way, I forget, somebody commented Twitter reaction from the weekend saying, didn't El Yunusi play behind Edouard in Rome against Lazio? He did, and that's a good point. El Yunusi is versatile enough to play anywhere along that front line, but I just think his most natural position is coming from the left hand side. I think that partnership between Edouard and Griffiths is working so well just now that there's absolutely no need or reason to change it. If anything, I think Edouard is benefiting from it. When he's up there on his own in the 4-2-3-1, he likes to come really deep and link the play. and he's really good at it. He's been brilliant there in the first half of the season, but I think Griffiths there alongside him, you can see they're really intelligent footballers, they're on each other's wavelength, the link up is getting better and better, and I think Griffiths being there and allowing Edouard to come deep and still having Griffiths to go in behind, I think it's really working for us, so there's no need to change that, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing it at Celtic Park tomorrow, if that is how we set up. 2 strikers at Celtic Park, there's a vast proportion of the support who have been crying out for 2 up front for a long time, so that's what you want to see. You want to go to Celtic Park and watch us play attacking football in the Celtic way. Hopefully tomorrow we can bring a high level of performance and we'll get a lot of goals. Hearts, as I say, are conceding a lot just now. They will raise their game for this, but as long as we're up for it and we bring a good level of performance, high level of professionalism, I fully expect us to get the win. That's the team I went with. Like the video, comment your own thoughts below. Who do you think is going to start in front of Brown and McGregor? Do you think Can will play? Who do you think is going to come in at left wing back if it is a back three? Will it be Taylor? Will it be Bolingoli? And if you haven't already, please don't forget to click subscribe below. We'll be back tomorrow after the game with all the full-time reaction from Celtic Park. Thank you.